Audio test. Audio test 1, 2, 3. Audio test. Good morning to our attendees who are joining us here in the Board of Public Works hearing room. If there's any members of the public who wish to offer commentary on any of our agendized items or public comment, please fill out a speaker card located in the back of the room on the table. Indicate which item you would like to speak on and hand it to me. Good morning as well to our attendees who are joining us on the Zoom virtual platform. I do see a number of hands raised. I'm going to go through those attendees who have their hands raised and ask if you would like to offer public comment or commentary on any of our agendized items this morning, or both. And I will start this morning with Georgina. Good morning, Georgina.
Good morning. Public comment, please.
Very well. I have you down for public comment. I'm going to go ahead and put you back on mute, and I have lowered your hand. And I'll move next to Jill.
Public comment?
Thank you, Jill. I have you down for public comment. I'm going to go ahead and put you back on mute. Audit LA, good morning.
Good morning. I would like public comment in all agenda items, please.
Very well. I have you down for public comment and all agendized items. I'm going to go ahead and lower your hand. Miriam, good morning.
Good morning. General public comments.
Very well. I have you down for public comment. I am going to go ahead and lower your hand and put you back on mute and lower your hand. I do see a number of other attendees on the Zoom platform. If you would like to offer comment on any of our items or general public comment, please raise your hand at this time. I'll ask you to unmute. You can identify yourself for the record and indicate which item you'd like to speak on. And I would like to inform all attendees, members of the public, city staff, that this meeting was has been agendized as a special meeting with a start time of 10:15. So we're starting just a little bit later than we normally do. Thank you. It's 10:07. We should get started in approximately 8 minutes. Thank you. Good morning once again to our attendees who are joining us here in the board's hearing room. If there's any members of the public who wish to offer commentary on any of our items, please fill out a speaker card located in the back of the room on the table. Indicate which item you'd like to speak on and hand it to me. I'll record your name, your information for the record, and call upon you when we reach your item. Good morning as well to our attendees who are joining us on the virtual platform. I do have Georgina, Jill, Audit LA, and Miriam who have indicated they wish to offer commentary. I do see an additional hand raised, iPhone 98. I'm going to ask you to unmute. Would you like to offer commentary on any of our items this morning, iPhone 98?
Yes, public commentary, please.
Very well. I have you down for public comment. I'm going to go ahead and lower your hand, put you back on mute. Are there any other members of the public who wish to offer commentary on our agendized items on the Zoom platform? If so, please raise your hand, and I'll ask you to unmute. It's 10:14. We should get started with the meeting momentarily. Thank you. President Kang, we are now in record mode.
Thank you, Mr. Knight. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the regularly scheduled meeting of the Board of Public Works for Wednesday, May 7, 2025. Mr. Knight, would you please take roll and establish quorum?
Very well. Good morning, President Kang, President Pro Tem Grant, and Commissioner Mitchell are present. We do have a quorum. Vice President Chavez is absent on approved city business today. We are joined by City Attorney Representative Virginia Choi. I'm TJ Knight with the Board of Public Works. President Kang, we have 5 speaker cards on the virtual platform for public comment and 1 multiple item agenda commenter on the virtual platform. We have no one in the room who has submitted a speaker card at this time, and we have no neighborhood council commentary this morning.
All right, thank you very much. So let's start with the general public comment, which is an opportunity for the public to address the board on public interest items and will be provided up to 1 minute per person, up to a cumulative total of 10 minutes for the general public comment segment of each regular meeting. And testimony shall be limited in content to the subject matter, which are within the jurisdiction of the Board of Public Works, and the board may not take any action on any matters discussed during the public comment period. Given that we have no in-person comment cards, we will start with the virtual platform. And Mr. Knight, if you can.
Very well, thank you, President Kang. I would like to make a quick announcement. I probably should have done this before you made your introduction on the rules about public comment, but I would like to note that agenda item number 1 has a revised city engineer estimate. So what is listed on the agenda, on this morning's agenda, has been revised. It was revised and the addendum was posted to RAMP on May 2nd, and the revised estimate for the city engineer's estimate for item 1 is $50,472,191. Once again, the city engineer's estimate has been revised for item 1 to $50,472,191. And with that, I will go ahead and start with, we can go ahead and start with the public comment period, starting with Georgina. Georgina, I'm going to ask you to unmute, and you'll have 60 seconds to offer your public comment. Go ahead.
Thank you. I'm concerned about the constant abuse of the permits on L. Ron Hubbard Way. They're constantly taking out permits. They aren't displaying the permits. Then when you ask for the permit, they show the permit request and not the actual permit, which is usually altered terms. They use the police as security to keep protesters and people away. And that street needs to remain open for the hospitals, but it's also greatly important that that street remain open for the Scientologists that are trapped in those buildings that might be trying to escape. Please Google the Maureen Bolstad story. That's Bolstad, Bolstad. She was kidnapped and held under 24-hour guard. Took her 3 more years to escape. Closing off that street closes off any avenue of hope for those people that are trapped inside those buildings.
And that's
Please
60
stop the
seconds.
abuse.
We'll move next to Jill. Go ahead, Jill.
I'm going to continue along the line of the letter P theme. First, we had planters, and now we're dealing with permits. I am telling you, it's terrible that you do not have an auditor that's going to go and assess the permit situation at this cult of Scientology. You need to send someone when they have events and assess that they're even following the rule of law under the permits. And also, if they're not doing that, you have to stop allowing those permits to be granted. No one is above the law. You are letting them hide things because they're trying to skirt the issue. They really want to close that street. And it's a pittance that they don't listen to you or even listen to the people that are complaining that they can't even help their family members that are trapped inside, like Laura Anderson. It's terrible. If you close that street and you continue to allow these permits, things
And
are going
that's
to be
60 seconds. And we'll move next to Audit LA. Go ahead.
Good morning and congratulations, President Kung. And I hope we can help build like a good relationship with you as the new president, because these issues are not going away until you guys make them go away. I am going to stick with the permits as well. I was there for a permitted Easter Sunday program, and trying to go down this sidewalk, they would not let me, even though they cannot prevent pedestrians. The police were called. The police told them they absolutely have to leave, let me go through and not harass me. And so I shouldn't have to call the police to go down a public street. And they know better. It's on their permit. It cannot prevent pedestrians. But they are continuously doing this. They're not doing the notifications to the public, to the neighbors. There's so many things that they're not doing, yet they keep getting permits. And BSS keeps saying, oh, and well, let me backtrack. They also did not put a fire lane. They had it completely blocked off. And yes, I went to the fire department
And that's
about
60
it.
seconds. We'll move next to Miriam. Go ahead.
Hi. I'm strongly demanding that the board stop issuing special event permits to the cult of Scientology on LRH Way. Every time they hold one of these events, they illegally shut down both public sidewalks, placing armed guards, sometimes even off-duty LAPD officers, who intimidate, selectively stop, and deny access to the public in clear violation of the law. This is not a private compound. These are public sidewalks. Your continued approval of their permits makes the city complicit in civil rights violations, and you will be sued for this. I hope you understand how huge liability this situation is to the city. Stop rubber stamping permits for an organization that repeatedly abuses them. Revoke all future permits immediately until Scientology complies fully with the law. This just doesn't fly anymore.
And that's 60 seconds. We'll move next to iPhone 98. iPhone 98.
Hi there. My name is Laura. I was born and raised in the Scientology cult that most of these people are calling in about. There's many issues, and this isn't an attack. This is just it's not an attack on Public Works or anything. We're trying to get you guys to be more aware that either you have people in your Public Works that are staffed in your organization that are Scientologists, or they're being manipulated by Scientologists, Kendrick Moxon or Jennifer or Kirsten Catano with permits and allowing these permits to happen. This is not, we're trying to attack you. It's nothing has ever been done over the last 50, 40 years that they've been allowed to sort of gang over the city. So please, just awareness is what we're asking for. Please do something about it. Thank you so much.
And that concludes public comment this morning on, for today's meeting, President King.
Thank you. With that, we will close general public comment portion of today's meeting and move on to multiple agenda item public comment. The board will provide an opportunity for members of the public wishing to speak on more than one agenda item during multiple agenda item comment period for up to 1 minute per item, up to a cumulative total of 3 minutes per meeting. This is the only time to speak on more than one agenda item, and please identify the items that you will speak on when you are called. Mr. Knight?
Thank you, President Kang. We'll go ahead and we have one commenter on the virtual platform who has requested to speak on all items, and that is Adedele. Adedele, I've asked you to unmute. Please identify which items you're speaking on.
All items, please. I would like, yes, I want to start with, okay, I see like a lot of different number variations, like, one, it's 50 million. There's like, I think a 5 million, and then there's a 2 million. The one for 2 million something is for sidewalk repair. I'm concerned about that it's getting the tiniest amount of money put towards it, but it's really one of the biggest problems. I understand the sewer and all that is also huge problems. I get it. Every time it rains here, I fully understand the sewer problem. But we have the Olympics and Paralympics coming in a very short amount of time, and you have a massive amount of sidewalks that are in disrepair. There's no way this city is even remotely close to being able to host, a massive amount of people in chairs and other, walkers, canes, whatever it is. You're not ready, and $2 million here and there is not going to solve the problem. The Willis decision, I get it. You have 30 years. But you have the Paralympics in 3 years. So you're going to have to really reevaluate how you are approaching this situation. And I ask you to please do that. I also want to talk about, the bids, okay? And I know when I first started coming here, not the past president or this current president, but the two prior, would literally roll their eyes when I would bring up to make sure there's no slave labor. And I know it sounds ridiculous, right? In 2025, slave labor in America, but it happens. It's happening under your nose. It's happening. They say it's religious labor, whatever, but it's not once they start working on streets, and they do work on streets. They've worked in the film industry and got sued. Scientology did, because they weren't paying. They were paying slave wages to their people who are working on film. So little by little, hopefully it gets rectified, but you can't mock it. You have to look out for it, because even now with the Angelino app, that it asked, like, for the businesses whether or not to make sure you attest that you are not hiring slave labor. So the city is becoming aware that it is an issue. It's not just Scientology. There's other groups, I guess, people that make a lot of money on the backs of people that are getting paid slave wages, not just, we're worried about living wages. You hear that argument about living wages, but we're talking slave wages. It exists, and you guys need to scrutinize it and stop acting, or not you guys here personally, but this society in general have to stop acting as if it doesn't happen. It happens. Okay, you ask anyone, the people that they have vacuuming L. Ron Hubbard Way, how much money they make, depending if they're in the RPF or not. It's anywhere from $11 to
And that's 3
$47
minutes.
a week. Thank you.
And that concludes multiple agenda item commentary this morning, President King.
All right, thank you very much. With that, we will close multiple item public comment portion of today's meeting. And there are no minutes for approval today due to the cancellation of the meeting on Monday, April 28th in 2025. So we'll move on to our agenda items. Moving on to bids on number 1, Mr. Castellanos. Los Angeles Riverway West San Fernando Valley Completion Project, Vanalden Avenue to Balboa Boulevard, WOE 190752B.
Thank you, President Kang. And once again, to reiterate, as I stated at the beginning of or earlier in the meeting, the city engineer did issue a revised estimate. The addendum was posted to RAMP on May 2nd. The revised estimated amount is $50,472,191. And Matthew Castellanos with the Board Secretariat has stepped out of the room momentarily. He should be rejoining us momentarily, at which time we can go ahead and proceed with the bid opening process. Just give me 1 minute. And right on cue here, we are joined by Matthew Castellanos from the Board Secretariat. Thank you, Matthew. The first bid for item 1 is from Griffith Company. And the total bid amount is $109,564,400. $109,564,400. And this is the second final bid for item 1, and this bid is from Environmental Construction Incorporated. Environmental Construction Incorporated's total bid amount is $89,863,339. $89,863,339. And that's the final bid opening for item number 1.
All right. For item number 1, I will move. Is there a second? Seconded by President Pro Tem Grant. Mr. Knight?
Very well, we'll take roll call vote on approval of item number 1, starting with you, President Kang,
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant,
Aye.
and Commissioner Mitchell. All ayes, and this item is received, opened, and declared forthwith.
All right, thank you very much. We'll move on to item number 2, bids on Vermont Avenue East Primary Sewer Rehabilitation, Florence to 83rd.
Thank you, President Kang. And once again, Matthew Castellanos is joining me to assist with the bid opening process. And for item 2, the first bid received is from Spinello Infrastructure West Incorporated. And their total bid amount is $9,770,886. $9,770,886. And that is the only bid received for item number 2 this morning, President Kang.
All right, for item number 2, I'll move. Is there a second? Seconded by Commissioner Mitchell. Mr. Knight?
Very well, we'll go ahead and take roll call vote on approval of item 2, starting with you, President Kang,
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant,
Aye.
Commissioner Mitchell. All ayes, and item number 2 is received, opened, and declared forthwith.
All right, moving forward to item number 3, bids. Sidewalk Repair Program, package number 73, access request acceleration sites work order number E1909086.
And the first bid received for item number 3 is from Addison Miller Incorporated. Addison Miller Incorporated's total bid amount is $2,361,596.50. $2,361,596.50. 5, 9, 6, and 50. Thank you. The second bid for item 3 is from Geronimo Concrete Incorporated. Geronimo Concrete Incorporated's total bid amount is $2,311,649. 2,311,649. And the next bid for item 3 is from Environmental Construction Incorporated. Environmental Construction Incorporated's total bid amount is $2,376,290. 2,376 and $290. Last bid? No. One more, okay, thank you. The next bid for item 3 is from Access Pacific Incorporated. Access Pacific Incorporated's total bid amount is $2,769,130. 2,769,130. Thank you, Matthew. And the last bid opening for item 3 is from Axiom Group. Axiom Group's total bid amount is $2,350,559.81. 2,350,559.81. And that concludes bid openings this morning and bid opening for item number 3, President.
All right, I'll move item number 3. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by President Pro Tem Grant. Mr. Knight?
Yes, very well. We'll go ahead and take a roll call vote on approval of item number 3, starting with you, President King,
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant,
Aye.
and Commissioner Mitchell. Aye. All ayes, and item number 3 is received, open, and declared forthwith. Thank you, Mr. Castellanos.
Thank you very much. We'll move on to item number 4, construction budget in order, change orders, MNR Construction in Council District 2. Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. My name is Christian Guerrero with the Bureau of Engineering Wastewater Conveyance Construction Division. And I'm here to present a board report for approval of the construction budget for the Sewer 7 Crenshaw Boulevard 3700A project. To M&R Construction, authorize a construction budget of $250,000, including the contingency, and to authorize the city engineer to issue construction orders and change orders up to that authorized budget. LE Sanitation issued an urgent expedite request for this project on April 30th of 2024 due to CCTV revealing a deformed liner at 189 feet upstream of the downstream maintenance hole. Also, a concrete obstruction, excuse me, was seen at 204 feet upstream of the downstream maintenance hole, which prevented the CCTV to complete inspection of the entire sewer pipe. The project is located at the intersection of Crenshaw Boulevard and Rodeo Place, as shown in Figure 1. And the reach is a 15-inch vitrified clay pipe with a length of 354 feet and is 12 feet deep. A 189 feet long portion of this reach was removed and replaced by the LA County Metropolitan Transportation Authority back in 2020. And so the scope of work consists of removing and replacing the remaining 165 feet of existing 15-inch pipe and restoring one house connection and 2 Ys. The project was placed on hold by LA Sanitation on June 18th of 2024 due to funding constraints and was reinstated on November 14th of 2024. The scheduled work and prices was then, estimate was including fixed price items and non-fixed price items and calculated quantities, and based on the scheduled work and prices and cost proposals received for the non-fixed price items, this was on February 5th, 2025. M&R Construction was the lowest bidder at $147,714. And construction then began on February 11th of 2025. The contractor did encounter high flow in the pipe, necessitating a bypass and a remodeling of the upstream maintenance hole channel base. A portion of the sewer reach was also encased in concrete, which required potholing in order to confirm the encasement limits. Due to these unforeseen site conditions, additional budget was required to complete the project. The additional bid items needed to complete the project resulted in a revised cost of $202,939. On February 26, 2025, the Bureau of Engineering obtained the emergency budget authorization from the liaison commissioner to complete the project in order to minimize any additional mobilization by the contractor and impact to the public. And the additional contingency brings us to a total requested budget of $250,000. The project was completed on March 4th, 2025, and that concludes my presentation. I'll answer any questions you may have. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Mr. Knight, do we have any hands raised for this item?
President King, we do not.
All right. Commissioners, any comments or questions related to this item? Seeing none, is there a motion on item number 4?
Second.
Mr. Knight, it's moved by Commissioner Mitchell, seconded by President Pro Tem Grant.
Very well. We'll go ahead and take a roll call vote on approval of item 4, starting with you, President King,
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant,
Aye.
and Commissioner Mitchell. All ayes, and this item is adopted and will move forward forthwith.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Moving on to item number 5, request for authority, task order solicitation, number S001, Stantec Consultant Services, Inc.
Good morning, Board Commissioners. My name is Javier Dennis. I'm an environmental engineer with LA Sanitation and Environment. I'm here today to respectfully request authority to award TOS S001 Collection System, Critical Planning, and GIS Enterprise System support. The TOS is intended to provide as-needed professional services to support response efforts to urgent and unforeseen challenges in operating and maintaining our sewer collection system. Given the scale and the complexity of our collection system, unplanned incidents such as sewer collapses, blockages, and overflows require immediate expert response to mitigate potential hazards and service disruptions. LA San has historically utilized as-needed support services contracts as a proactive tool for quickly responding to a wide range of challenges. With the expiration of the previous support services TOS last year, TOS S001 will enable the city to continue having this vital mechanism. The scope of work as listed in the board report is intended to broadly address the needs of the city's collection system in the fields such as planning, engineering, odor and hydraulic modeling, asset management, GIS development, and sewer inspection, as well as give LA Sanitation the flexibility to promptly respond to any emerging needs. Some of the scope of work items listed in the board report are functions that LA Sanitation or Bureau of Engineering does not have the necessary in-house expertise to complete. There's also tasks where city staff perform this work, and in these cases, the TOS is intended to provide as-needed support where there's a substantial and time-sensitive need that exceeds the capacity of city resources without impacting existing functions. One example is the LA Sanitation response efforts after the Pacific Palisades fire, which necessitated an extensive assessment of our sewer infrastructure and review of CCTV inspection footage in order to rebuild damaged infrastructure and seek federal assistance. The budget of the contract is for $4 million per year with a term of 5 years for a total of $20 million. Funding would come from LA Sanitation's Sewer Construction and Maintenance Fund and has no impact on the city's general fund. In alignment with the city's commitment to equity and equal opportunity, the prime consultant has pledged to subcontract 85% of the contract value to firms with business certifications that qualify under our business inclusion program. This is far and above the anticipated participation levels set under this program. And this concludes my presentation. I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Knight. Do we have any hands raised for this item?
No hands raised on the platform.
All right, thank you very much. Commissioners, any questions or comments I just have a quick question. I know you mentioned that we don't have in-house capacity to take on this work. Are there any discussions? I understand there are some budgetary constraints, but were there any discussions about possibly creating support for this type of work in the future?
Right. In some cases, we don't have the expertise in house, and so in this case, the reason for that is because there's just not sufficient work that necessitates a full-time city resource on a project or program, such as expertise for designing odor control systems, pumping plants, other systems that um, are not a recurring project or sufficient projects that we have. And so the goal is just to use as needed support for very specialized expertise.
All right. With that, is there a motion for item number 5?
Second.
All right, Mr. Knight, it's moved by Commissioner Mitchell, seconded by President Pro Tem Grant.
Very well. President Kang will go ahead and take a roll call vote on approval of item 5, starting with you, President Kang,
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant,
Aye.
and Commissioner Mitchell. All ayes, and this item is adopted and will move forward forthwith.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Moving on to motions, item number 6, AFE Kern Delta Water District.
Good morning, Board President, Commissioners, City Attorney, and Executive Officer. My name is Alan Chuan with LE Sanitation. Today, I'm here to present an AE to encumber fund to pay for the current Delta water usage at Green Eco Farm operation for fiscal year 24-25. This AE was approved by the Board of Public Works back in September 2024. However, the incorrect appropriation unit was used to encumber fund for utilities. Therefore, I'm here to request for your approval to change the unit number from 50AX82 to 50A2WP on the original encumbrance. And the funding will come from the sewer operation maintenance fund. Therefore, there will be no impact on the general fund. Thank you so much, and that concludes my presentation.
All right. Mr. Knight, are there any hands raised for this item?
President King, no hands raised on the virtual platform.
All right. Commissioners, any comments or questions? All right. With that, is there a motion?
So move.
Item number 6 has been moved by President Pro Tem Grant and seconded by Commissioner Mitchell.
Very well. We'll go ahead and take a roll call vote on approval of item 6, starting with you, President Kang,
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant,
Aye.
and Commissioner Mitchell. All ayes, and item 6 is approved forthwith.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Moving on to administrative items, item number 7, specification submitted to board adoption and authorization to advertise for the invitation of bids in Council District 13, Affordable Housing and Sustainable Communities Round 3, Path Villas, Hollywood, Sustainable Transportation Infrastructure, and Transportation-Related Amenities Improvements.
And there is no speaker on this administrative item, so we can go ahead and move straight to, well, actually, it still needs to be moved and seconded. So if we have.
Correct. So I'll move item number 7. Is there a second?
Second.
All right. Seconded by President Pro Tem Grant.
Very well. Thank you, President Kang. And we'll go ahead and take a roll call vote on approval of item 7, starting with you, President Kang,
Aye.
President Pro Tem Grant,
Aye.
and Commissioner Mitchell. All ayes, and this item is approved and adopted forthwith.
All right, moving forward to item number 8, also specification submitted for board adoption and authorization to advertise for the invitation of bids in Council District 31115 for secondary sewer renewal program DCON 06. I will, actually, are there any hands raised for this?
No hands raised on this item.
Okay. I will move item number 8. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Mitchell.
Very well, we'll go ahead and take roll call vote on approval of item 8, starting with you, President Kang,
Aye.
Pro Tem Grant,
Aye.
and Commissioner Mitchell. All ayes, and item number 8 is adopted and moves forward forthwith.
All right. Mr. Knight, does that conclude our voting items for today?
Yes, President Kang, it does.
Yeah, thank you, everybody. Our next meeting will be on Friday, May 9th. The meeting is now adjourned at 10:48 a.m.